Hello friends, and welcome to my cave. How do you survive when the whole world is one big cave? There is no sunlight, no peaceful mobs from the depths to the top of the world, just caves. And I'm stuck here for 100 days in this huge Minecraft world on hardcore difficulty. And if I die, my survival is over. I will have 100 days to survive here and build the most luxurious underground kingdom in the world. I will build the biggest railroad, tree farm, and since food is scarce underground, I will make a farm. Enjoy the game, everyone. So far, the only alternative to regular food is glowing berries, so I started collecting them. With food, I will have a lot of problems, and for a very long time. Then I started mining wood and other resources to create iron armor as soon as possible. Otherwise, I will just die from the first group of monsters. The most important task for the first 10 days is to figure out a way to feed myself and not starve to death underground where there is absolutely no food and only swarming monsters that want to kill me. I found diamonds, but the creeper won't let me take them. Plus, I need an iron pickaxe. And there's no iron or stone here, so I'll go up a bit higher to a height of 50 or so. There will be more resources there to start surviving, and then I'll go back to my height. I'm going to make iron armor and sword very quickly, otherwise the monsters will just not let me move around the cave and get resources, and I'll end up starving to death. Also, I definitely need to make a shield to go harvest wheat seeds in the cave, and not be afraid that I will be killed by another skeleton that spawns here every second. So now, very quickly, I need to dig up iron and coal and start making my first armor and sword. I was lucky enough to find a cave that had a whole bunch of iron, gold, and other useful resources that would allow me to become stronger and start wresting my cave from the hands of evil monsters. I feel so sad at the thought that there is no sunshine here. No rain here, no sky here. It's a constant life amongst rocks and underground rivers. Tons of monsters and dangers at every corner. It's so sad. In the meantime, I am mining coal, iron, and all the resources that come my way so that I can grab the thread of development as quickly as possible. I think that the first 10 days are the most important in my survival, because I have to survive without things, get food, make a house, weapons. I have nothing, and I have to overcome deadly difficulties to survive. To tell you the truth, I'm making this video for the third time, because the first 2 times I died without milking until the 5th day. I hope this time I won't die. Otherwise, I'll get discouraged and stop playing Minecraft Cave World only. I finally got my first diamonds. I need to find another one, and I can make a diamond pickaxe, but I don't have time for that right now. I need to make iron armor, get wheat seeds, and start building my kingdom. I really like gnome kingdom, so I will be building something in their style. In fact, live 100 days as a gnome because their life consists of eternal battles, crafting, and mining. So if it pleases you, today I'm a dwarf. Right now, I'm starting to clear the land for my future gnome kingdom. I hate the deep cobblestone that takes twice as long to break as regular stone. But it is prettier and will make exactly what I wanted. A real gnome kingdom. I also want to make a forge and become a real blacksmith. But now I will make a wheat farm to feed myself for the next 90 days of survival. By the way, friends, do not forget to put likes and subscribe to my channel. I will be glad to all new subscribers. There will be many more new videos soon. I quickly make a bucket, draw water, and make a farm. In the future, the farm will be bigger. But now this size will be enough. I think at first any farm will do. I also decided to gather more resources to finish myself an iron set of armor and a shield that will protect me from arrows that so often fly at me from the darkness, as well as mining the precious earth that just can't be found in my cave on the lower levels. Now I'm completely ready to make a farm, and I'm coming home. Right after that, I'll start building a kingdom and setting up my forge. Since I am in a cave, wheat can't just grow. I will have to make additional light sources so that I can plant wheat. Now I start to clear the walls to increase the size of my farm and make the room more spacious. By the way, in the future I will grow not only wheat but also carrots and potatoes, watermelons and pumpkins, but for this I need to find the necessary seeds. In the near future, I plan to build a railroad which will help me move faster through the caves, save time and food, as well as allow me to safely bypass all enemies and get to different places faster than usual. Plus, I've been wanting to build a railroad for a long time because I've been surviving in caves for 100 days, and what normal cave doesn't have a wagon and rails? So while I'm making the farm, I'm melting gold on the clock to keep track of time, and I also want to make accelerating rails on red dust. I get some more diamonds and finally find what I've been looking for. It's a cave spider spawner. I need a spider web to make a fishing rod, a bow, a bed, and a crossbow. As you can see, this is a very important find for me, and it will help me a lot in my survival. So even though I have no food and I'm dead, I can't lose this chance and not look in this cave. Otherwise, this opportunity may not come up again. In my caves, mobs will spawn all the time. So I will return home and start to light up the area with torches to reduce their number of spawning near my house and to protect myself. So sooner or later, I will light up the entire area near my house and will be able to completely get rid of all the aggressive monsters in the area. And then my world will be at least a little kinder to me and probably will not even try to kill me. In the future, I will need an enchanting pot for my armor and weapons, but I haven't figured out how to make it yet because there is no leather or paper in this world, or at least it is much harder to get it than in the normal world. So survival in caves is much harder than simple survival in the normal world. In this cave, there were a lot of spiders and I had a little difficulty. I had very little food and no normal weapons. So to fight off the cave spiders was very problematic, but I tried to beat out of them as much as possible threads and stay here more time. Because of desperation, I started to eat the eyes of spiders, but it actually did not help me much. Because the spiders poisoned me a lot, I had to retreat. I got enough threads. I have enough for everything I need, and I decided to get some wood in this cave. Now I have a shortage of wood, so I can take boards from an abandoned mine. I don't think anyone will mind. I decided to make a stone axe so that it would go faster and I wouldn't have to dig with my hands. So let's start mining all these planks, hoping that this cave doesn't collapse on my head. Finally, when I get home, I will be able to create a diamond pickaxe, and I will be able to build my kingdom out of dark stone faster. For now, I need to melt everything down and start clearing the area for the future castle. Look how well I put the stoves near the lava. It looks like a real forge with a smelter. It gave me the main idea to build my house. I think soon there will be a very beautiful kingdom with a lot of cool and beautiful things. I create myself a chest and some more stoves to melt metals faster. Well, as a fishing rod and a bow, with a fishing rod, I will be able to fish and get more food. I do not know if I can fish in the cave, but hopefully yes. In the meantime, it is already the 12th day of survival, and I finally start to make my house. I think that at least 5 days will take to calculate the areas and build the basic framework of my house. And then it remains only to finalize it and make the railroad. I think I will be able to do everything before 21 days of my survival in this hardcore world. Now, I have nothing left to do but build a house because I don't have any food except glowberries, and they are not very nourishing. I can't go anywhere, so I have to wait until my farm grows crops and I can bake bread. Only then I can go traveling further in my world, only cave. It's hard to break this black stone. Even with a diamond pickaxe, it takes a long time to break, and it makes it hard and slow to build my kingdom. But this stone is very beautiful. So I'll take my time and dig as much of it as I need to build everything according to my design. So for now, I'm tidying up my area, building steps fixing the lava fountain and improving some details to make my house look perfect. I think I might start building the railroad as soon as I finish building the house because I need to get enough food before I go anywhere anyway. So if I still haven't got enough food by the time I finish building the house, I'll start building the house. I'll start building the railroad, but I need to get a lot more iron for the rails, but I think I know where I could borrow some. Remember the abandoned mine? I think there's a lot of rails there that nobody wants and I could go and get them for free. Now, we need to completely remove all the andesite, remove all the unnecessary rocks, and completely clear the area to build my house. I thought it would be faster, and apparently I was wrong, and in this cave I will have to spend a lot of time and break a lot of picks to make this rock a full-fledged giant castle. To be honest, I am a little tired, but I think that soon things will go faster when I start to build and not break. I hope my kingdom will turn out to be really very cool. Now my house looks like this. I will show all the stages of changing and improving it, so watch the video to the end and do not rewind. In a few days I will show you the result of my work and you will be amazed. Also, very soon there will be a railroad that I wanted to build in my kingdom for a long time. As soon as I entered the world of caves, the first thing that came to my mind that I have to build the coolest railroad in the world, as well as I plan to build the biggest railroad in the world. Right now, you can see the final stage of clearing the area, and right now, I am starting to build the steps, walls, floor, and ceiling. I need patience and coffee while I make this giant house. Now I will finish these stones and go to harvest my crops. I think at least something should have grown in my vegetable garden by now. Unfortunately, my garden has not yielded yet, but I found some iron, and by the way, my house already looks not bad, although it's just the beginning of my work, but it's already getting good. I made steps to the second floor of my cave, so that if I need resources from the upper caves, I can easily get there on these steps. My house is starting to look like a house, not a regular cave, and I'm very happy about it. Finally, as promised, I'm showing you how my house looks now. It's been almost 20 days, and I'm happy with the result. I already have a roof over my head. I have a vegetable garden, a balcony, a smelter, and even a bed. I'm slowly starting to prepare the rails that would lay them along the entire cave. There's not much left before I start building it. I would like you to write in the comments what kind of survival you would like to see on my channel. I will implement any of your ideas if it will get a lot of likes on the comments. So write in the comments ideas and like those that you like. Well, I continue to build a house and tear down unnecessary walls to build new ones from polished deep stone. This house is really becoming like something worthwhile. I hope that soon I will be able to finish it. Suddenly, 3 Endermen came to visit me. In this situation, I am very weak to defeat at least one of them. I have no normal weapons, no armor, and I understand that if I engage them in direct combat, I will most likely die and my survival will end. So I try to hide from them and come up with a plan. At first I thought they would leave and I would be alone, but they started collecting blocks right outside my house, and I realized I had to fight them off. I took a bucket of water and decided to pour it in the corner of my house. They are afraid of water and can't come near me, and I can hit them from a distance. This plan worked, and I started killing one by one the thieves who wanted to dismantle my house. Thank God I had a bucket of water. I started baiting them one by one and killing them standing in the water, as I thought they just stood there and looked at me while I killed them. Mission accomplished, and I freed my house. Now I can continue building and prevent this from happening again. I urgently need to build a gate so the monsters won't bother me anymore. I have expanded my farm a bit and planted more wheat in order to produce more bread and never go hungry. Then I continue to build the walls of my wonderful castle. No one will stop me from finishing it. I am very glad that I kicked the Endermans out of my house. Now I feel better than ever. I am full of confidence and strength. I've lit up my whole house with torches so that monsters don't come in and spawn. Sorted my stuff, and I've decided to improve my balcony a bit. I decided to improve my balcony a little. For this, I will need to make a lot of bricks. And also, finally, the moment has come when I can start building my railroad. For this, I will need to prepare a place for it. But first, I will take care of the balcony and properly decorate it with bricks. That's better. I think the brick looks very nice in my house, and now I'm going to make the rails for my railroad. I've come up with a layout, and it will look like this. The first point of my railroad will start at my house, and the second point at the bottom of my house. They will be connected by one route and will always lead to my house, so I can get on the railroad car, go where I need to go, and get off at the stop, and the railroad car will go back to my house and wait for me, and I will have a second railroad car in my inventory. So if I want to go home, I will put it on and go straight to my castle. I make ordinary iron rails and rails on the red dust that will speed up my wagon. While I was laying the rails, I got two clowns, Skeleton and Creeper. The Skeleton constantly tried to shoot at me, but to his regret hit the Creeper. Each time the arrow flew right into his green friend. In the end, fell out a plate that I successfully forgot to pick up. But it does not matter. I went to the lake and saw their axolotl. I took him in a bucket and decided to make a cozy room for him in his kingdom. You need to populate it with someone, so I decided that he will be my first friend. I decided to dig room in it, to make a lake and a lot of vegetation that he would feel comfortable, and the move did not affect his life, however. In the future with him will happen something not very pleasant, but you will see it a little later. But for now, this is the room he will have. I think he will be comfortable to live in it, although not for a long time. This room turned out to be almost perfect. I just need to add a few details so that everything would be nice and cozy for my aquatic friend. I think it would not hurt to put a couple of bushes here and hang glowing berries, as well as add a couple of these details. Now I like this room even more. I think he will like it too. I also think I should put a wooden door in here, just in case no one comes in to see my axolotl and he doesn't decide to run away from my castle, although I think he likes my conditions better than living in the wilderness with zombies and creepers. I hope so at least. Otherwise, it would be very sad. I think I need to go get more rails and resources for them. I just don't have enough of my resources for even half of what I have planned. I decided to run around the caves. As much as my armor allows me to walk around and not be afraid of monsters, I'm going to look for abandoned caves, mines. I also hope to collect more diamonds, gold, iron, and redstone. During these few days, I really found quite a lot of resources. Wandered through different caves and found a lot of interesting things. Managed to fight with monsters and even a couple of times almost died. It would be a shame given that I have already lived 23 days. But I all managed to survive, and I am very happy about it. I hope you are still watching this video and support me, because without you, I would not have succeeded. It's true. Thank you so much, and don't forget the like and subscribe button. The days are quietly passing, and I haven't done anything global. So as soon as I get back from this cave and do all my little things and fill my needs, I'm going to go looking for a whole bunch of obsidian. To be exact, I need over 200 pieces to build the biggest portal to hell in the world. Only caves in Minecraft Hardcore. I have collected a lot of rails from the abandoned caves, so it will be easy for me to complete my railroad when I return home. Plus, I have collected a lot of iron, gold, and redstone. So I am sure that soon we will ride on my finished railroad. How long I have been going to this, I hope I will not disappoint you. I think it's time to go home. I've gathered quite a lot of resources and I'm out of food, and I'm afraid I won't last long without food. I came home and decided to quickly harvest my crops and plant seeds in places where the field is empty, and also brought a new friend for my axolotl. To my great regret, they are not friends and even managed to fight. So I will only have one axolotl, but I'm not too worried about it. I just didn't realize that axolotls fight over territory, and that only one of them would survive. But what's done is done, and it's too late for regrets. So let's pack up and move on. We have a lot of cool stuff to do, so let's go do it quickly or we won't have time to do everything I have planned in 100 days. I put all my ore to smelt and go to finish my railroad, but I decided to increase the scale of my railroad a little bit, and now I'm not sure again if I have enough resources to finish it or not. Let's hope. I hope that everything goes well, and the resources that I got in the cave in a couple of days will be enough, or I'll just start going crazy. I've spent so much time and effort on this project, and I can't finish it for various reasons. I'm starting to believe that my railroad is cursed. I hope it's not true. I'll have to build the stairs all the way to the bottom and then build the railroad. I think it will take quite a long time. It's not the easiest job, but once I start doing it, I have to finish it. Otherwise, why did I start and plan all this? But in general, for 27 days, I got used to the caves and slowly start to feel comfortable here. I even like the vibe I get when I survive in such conditions. I really started to feel like some old dwarf blacksmith, but I don't have enough dwarves in a tavern with a spruce to be a real dwarf king. But I think that someday there will be dwarves in Minecraft, and then I'll make a new part where I'll sit on the throne of a dwarf king and rule a whole bunch of treacherous dwarves. But that's just my sick fantasy. Well, here's the first problem. I cannot switch the railroad as I need, and therefore will have to change the original plan and do a little differently. But I'm not too upset, actually. So perhaps it will be even better. Because if there will be two cars, they will not collide with each other, and I can safely leave them right on the railroad and then pick them up when I return home. So I will not constantly lose my carriages somewhere on the railroad tracks, and everything will be fine. Now I just need to lay all my railroad along those places in the cave that I need, that the stops would be as convenient as possible, and most importantly, that I could leave my carriages and they would come back to my home. I will need a lot of time for this. I hope I will not spend another 10 days on it, because I still need to build the biggest portal to hell and kill the dragon of the Edgenvarden. I came back home to make some more iron and gold rails, because what I have is not enough, so it's better to make more of them, so I don't have to come home 10 times, and I'll harvest the crops that have grown while I was away, make some food, and I can go on to make my giant railroad, which is more like a roller coaster and very crazy. Everyone's trying to stop me from finishing my railroad soon. That damn spider tried to throw me down, but he didn't succeed. Not this time, Spider-Man. I kept making my rails until they were done. Later, I went home to make more rails and came back to finish it. As it turns out, I need a lot more rails than I originally thought, so I'm going to have to sweat to finish it. I'm taking all the melted gold and iron from the furnaces I left there earlier and making more rails to finish the road, and I'm finally getting back to making the railroad. It's 70. Complete, so the hardest part is behind me. I'm going to put gold rails every 10 blocks, but in the future I plan to replace all the rails with gold ones. I just don't have enough resources for that right now. I start to build a descent. Just there will be the junction of my two roads and get a big ring on which my wagons will ride and return home. But on the way I met a witch who decided to stop me. Once again, this cursed world of caves does not let me do what I planned, and I have to retreat. The witch poisoned me, so I have no chance of surviving. I have no food, and I decide to go home again. I've come up with a great way to replenish my hunger, but I need a lot of gold and carrots. Yes, that's right. Gold carrots will replenish a lot of hunger, and I can save time harvesting wheat. So this is the best option for me. I just need to grow enough carrots. And now I need to go home and quickly, before the witch threw a potion of harm at me, and I did not lose my world. I will make more food, prepare more reels and blocks, and go on the last run. I will finish the railroad and finally be free. I planned to go to hell that would get their ancient orphanage, armor and weapons, as well as I need to find the infernal growth, because in the future I plan to resurrect the zombie inhabitant. It would not hurt me in my kingdom. But for now, I want to test my railroad and ride it home. And by the way, it is very convenient, for example, when I have no food and I run very slowly and in general. Probably Until the end of the survival, I will not stop praising the railroad. Probably, it is one of the best solutions in my survival. Although it is very difficult to build it surviving in a cave where a lot of mobs, and here I came home and my golden axolotl somewhere missing. Apparently they fought and one killed the other. I continued to make bread and decided to make myself a diamond armor that would damage from monsters is not so much felt in fights, so I will feel more confident. Well, and maybe it will save my life, I don't know. Also made myself a diamond sword because I'm tired of going unarmed in this dangerous world. After that, I checked how much armor the diamond breastplate gives me, and it gives me good armor, and now I can go fishing in the lake with the axolotl. I don't have enough bread, so I decided to catch some fish too so that I would have 100 enough to eat. I caught some fish and put it fried, and also I caught one cow skin, but it will not be useful to me because in the dungeons there is no sugar cane and find it is impossible. But in any case, I can think of a variant how I can get bookshelves. Perhaps some of you have already guessed how. Write in the comments if you know where you can get them. Let me tell you right away, this is not a village of inhabitants. There are no villages here either. In general, I will like the comment who guesses where I will get bookshelves. I wanted to make a special thing in which you can process wheat seeds and get bone meal, but there was no craft and I made a barrel. Later the craft appeared, but I did not notice it, so I will make this thing a little later. And now we take all the fried fish and finally we have food. Then when I went downstairs of my house, I saw a waterfall in which there was a lot of fish. I decided to catch it and take it for myself. I think I could use it, but it can't be fried and it doesn't make up for a lot of hunger. But that's okay. It's not a big deal. Anyway, it's not a big deal, considering that I'm having a big problem with food right now, but I think it won't be forever, and soon I'll be able to solve my food problem completely and I won't be hungry ever again. I'm back to build the railroad, which last time I was prevented from building a witch threw a poison potion at me. Now I have good armor, plenty of food, and most importantly, I'm finally ready to finish it to the end, and it will work. I can move through the caves. My railroad is finally almost ready. It's just a matter of connecting it together and closing the circle. With it, I will be able to do all my other tasks. I will be able to go about my business. Save time. I think it will save me more time than I spent building it. I hope so. I need to build a little road because there is a lake here, and not to go around it, I will just make a small bridge over it so it will be faster. By the way, I will finally go to hell and start making Nezerite armor. I need it for my next tasks. I hope I can find enough Nezerite in hell and scrap it. Now here we will finish the rails, and we'll need to complete the descent from the mountain. Last time the witch did not let me finish it. I hope she is not there, although I have become stronger. Her poisoning can be deadly for me. So we will be careful. By the way, in the future we'll have to remake the usual rails in gold. I want all the rails to be gold, and then I will go even faster. By the way, you can think of your own tasks and write them in the comments. And in the next 100 days video, I will choose the coolest comments and fulfill your tasks. So feel free to write comments and share them. Video with your friends. I really want to get my first 1,000 subscribers. I decided to continue to build from cobblestones because I do not want to spend a lot of time on mining deep stone. I think it does not matter what color will be the ladder for my rails. The main thing that I was able to build it and I was not thrown from a height of some skeleton, lay the rails to the bottom and close our circle railroad just a little more, and we can test our roller coaster in the world of only caves. I need to make some more red torches and activate my rails. Oops, I think I overdid it a bit. I also realized that I had a stack of torches and I made another one for nothing. I'm not paying attention. I guess I'm just really tired. Let's finally finish the rails and ride the railroad car on them. I started to do them a little bit wrong, but that's okay. We'll fix it quickly and do it the way it should be done. And now let's finally, after so many days, ride our railroad. Okay, put a little bit of rail here and a little bit more here, and there we go. I'm finally done building this railroad. Let's finally get a ride home. There's a couple more things I'm going to do before I go looking for obsidian to build the biggest portal to hell. I need to make diamond armor. Go to the cave. Wait, it's the other way around. First go to the cave and then make the diamond armor, plant more wheat, and make a lot of bread so you don't starve to death in hell, and take a couple of rides on our wagon. I'm really curious how long it's going to take me to get this obsidian. I hope it won't take a few days. I have so many important things to do, and I want to do it all in 100 days. Anyway, I will hurry, and hopefully I can do it all very fast. Also, I want to kill Varden after hell when I make new armor. It doesn't make sense, because nothing valuable falls from him, and experience falls from him little. But this is my personal task that I want to do. Well, I'm happy with my railroad. I will need to refine it over time and add more high-speed rails, but in general, I'm satisfied with everything. I want to make a small lava fountain near my house that would be even more like the ancient dwarven kingdoms and betray the atmosphere of my house. Well, as illuminate the area, I dug a small hole that the lava would not spread throughout the territory and did not fry me. Very good. Gradually, my territory is becoming like a real kingdom. The borders are expanding and everything is becoming very beautiful and cozy. This is something I definitely would not have built on the surface, as I said. There is something about this survival underground. It is not a bad experience. Maybe it will help me in the future and in other survival because I come up with different options for survival and improve my skill. This is how at the moment looks like the fruit of our survival for 40 days in the caves. How do you think? I think it's not bad. We have achieved a lot, but there are still 60 days ahead. So it's not the end, and we will definitely do even better than it is at the moment. But for now, here are the results of 40 days of survival. And now it's time to harvest our vegetable garden because while I was making the railroad, it's all ripe and it's time to plant new seeds and make some bread. I remembered that I have some diamonds in my chest, and before I go digging in the cave, I'm going to make some diamond boots. Helmet, and going to make some diamond boots helmet. Pants. Now I'll be completely in diamond armor, and the chance that I'll die is less. I'm happy about that. Now let's not stall. We need to get resources and dig up about 200 obsidian blocks. So let's go, friends. What a huge field of wheat I have grown. Now we will plant all the seeds and make a whole bunch of bread, and still soon we will need to make a sieve for processing seeds to get bone meal and get rid of the excess of wheat because I have nowhere to put the wheat seeds that accumulate at me after each harvest. By the way, I planted carrots, and now when the harvest is big, I will make golden carrots and hunger will not bother me. And finally, let's finally scrap diamond armor. Why I didn't do it before, I don't know. Oh, now the final preparation and go on a trip. I need to melt all my iron sort things and take all the necessary. I will make more buckets, a little to collect water or lava. As it turns out, if I find a lake of lava, I will fill it with water and dig obsidian. If not, I will have to collect lava. In buckets, in general, it will be seen, I think, in the caves, a lot of lava and problems with it will not be a problem. Well, and finally, we are using the railroad, not building it. Too much time I spent on it. But as you can see, it works fine, and that's the most important thing. Now I'm going down. Then I'll go to the caves to collect resources and get obsidian. Wish me luck. I was attacked by 2 skeletons and almost killed me. I don't know how it happened, but apparently diamond armor is not enough for me. I need to enchant it and improve it with netherite. I found some diamonds and I'm mining them. Walking around an abandoned cave, I collected some iron and found a zombie spavner, but it's not what I need. I'm looking for a lava lake or obsidian. I decided to kill zombies and loot their treasury as well as to light up the whole place so that they do not spawn anymore. I may need this spavner in the future, so I will not break it for now. I guess let it be. I keep mining for resources and digging the cave for lava, and finally I got lucky and found a whole lake of lava. Now I fill it with water and start digging for obsidian, and need 2 whole stacks, so this one will take too long. But I have to build a huge portal to hell, so I have patience and start. Digging, a lot of digging. I'm going to dig up this whole lava lake. How long do you think it'll take? Hopefully not more than an hour or I'll go crazy getting all the obsidian. I finally got home and got obsidian. We're going up the rails home, and now I'm going to create the most gigantic portal in the world, just caves. I think it will go down in history, how convenient it is to move on the rails. I'm very glad I made it. I take the boards and start to build a bridge over the river and start to make the frame of our giant portal. I think there will be a lot of pig zombies in my world, but they don't touch just like that, so I'm not scared, and my world will be a little more alive. Okay, jokes are jokes, but our portal needs to be decorated and double framed and add a few more details to make it very massive and look very sturdy. It's not a portal. It's a real gateway to the underworld. The portal is almost ready to add a couple of details, and we will go to hell to mine Nesserite, to find the infernal fortress, to kill Pyglin, and many more things. I think in hell I will spend the next 10 days. I want to go to hell one time and not go back there until the end of survival. That would not wander there again. I will get soul sand, ifrit rods, gastateers, upgrades for new armor, and a lot more. So the next 10 days are going to be very hot. Hopefully I can survive in hell full of danger. I'm going in without enchanted armor, so it's very dangerous for me, especially if I fall in the lava. Let's summarize the past 10 days. I mined 200 obsidian. I found a zombie spaviner. I improved the farm and made diamond armor. I finished the railroad and made a lava fountain, and also mined a lot of resources, not bad. And now it's time to go to hell and spend the next 10 days there. It will be just hell. Make some iced tea, turn on the air conditioner, sit back and open the freezers in your refrigerators, because right now the temperature is going to rise by 100 degrees. Let's go, guys. Adventure awaits. So I'm in hell. The first thing I think I need to do is to look around. Then I need to collect my portal so that when I get to some place, I can build a new portal and go back home from there. That way I won't run around hell too much. I'll appear in a cave and use the coordinates to get to my castle. It'll be much easier than looking for a portal in hell. So I'm mining lightstone and all the resources I see around me. I need to collect as much as possible because I've set myself the goal of not going back to hell. Although, spoiler, I'll have to come here again to make a non-zero axe. But that's another story. Now I'm mining magma, hoping to make a rocking chair, but this idea will leave me later and I'll make a regular one. With water and a pit, I will dig a cave in a flat line and look for Nesserite, and if I come across a dungeon or a castle, I will search it and take all the stuff from there and keep digging so I can get Nesserite and find a lot of useful resources. Meanwhile, while I was digging, my plan worked and I dug out near the infernal fortress. I immediately started building a path to it to climb. I was met by monsters and had to fight them off. I fought the monsters and started looking for chests in the fortress. I heard that with a small chance you can find armor upgrades in it, so I mustn't miss any chests. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to dig further into the cave. By the way, I have to look for a hellspawn. I want to find a zombie resident and brew a potion of weakness to cure him. I already have the golden apple, so only the potion remains. While I was running around the infernal fortress, I met two very interesting skeletons. They both had enchanted bows and they were fighting each other. I decided to wait until they kill each other. It's interesting. At home, a skeleton attacked a creeper. Here, it's skeleton attacked a creeper. Here, it's skeleton against skeleton, maybe. They become kind. Or are they just idiots? I think the second. In general, I finished the skeletons and went on. On the way, I finally found the infernal growth that I really need for the potion, collected it, and decided to collect the sand of souls, that then do not look for it all over hell. But I will not grow it anyway, just in case I took it with me, in case it comes in handy somehow. After I had searched half of the fortress and killed a couple of Ifrites, I ran around the fortress, collected some more infernal growth, found a couple of chests and took everything I needed. After fighting off the monsters, I decided that it was time to move on, and there was nothing else here, so I got out of the fortress and went to dig a cave further. While I was digging, I found a deposit of 3 Nesserite ores. I was very happy because I hadn't found any Nesserite until now, and I thought I would never find any. After I got it, I continued digging the cave, and after about a day and a half, I came across another hellish fortress. It was just gigantic. It was the most gigantic fortress I had ever seen in my life. I was just surprised and mesmerized by its beauty and scale and the number of monsters that were on it. It was just a shot. I climbed up there and started killing a skeleton, and a Ifrit attacked me, and I decided to kill it with a bow so I wouldn't die from the fire. It was very dangerous to me. Then I found an Ifrit spawner and decided to stay there for a few minutes to get rods for all the crafting and resources I needed. Actually, I did not expect that my trip to hell will be so intense. It is the coolest adventures in hell, and this fortress I explored for several days. I have a feeling that the size of this fortress is like 5 usual or even 10. I think you will see for yourself its size. Write in the comments if you have ever seen a fortress bigger than this. Anyway, I continued to explore the fortress after I got the right amount of rods. There was only one problem, and it was that the amount of food was steadily and quickly decreasing to 0, and soon I will have to get out of this situation. But I do not know how, because in hell there are not many ways to get food, and my food farm right now is a few tens of thousands of meters away from me and in another world. There were more than 10 chests in this fortress, and I collected a lot of resources. Diamonds, various crafting materials, saddles that I probably won't need because there are no friendly mobs in the caves, but I took them anyway. Maybe they will be useful for some of my own purposes, or maybe a resident will buy them from me for emeralds. After I searched the whole fortress, I decided to dig the cave again and look for more fortresses, and soon I finally found what I was looking for. It was the Pyglin Fortress, and I was very happy because there is a 100 chance that there will be at least one blacksmithing template to improve my diamond armor. I stayed in the fortress until the end of my 10 days and got a lot of useful things. A lot of diamonds, Nesserite, armor upgrades, a couple of times almost died, but got a lot of gold blocks, also broke my diamond armor, and ate all the golden apples that I found there. But still, I managed to survive through all the difficulties and returned home on 61 days. As soon as I got back home, I started processing all the resources and materials I had gotten. I started copying templates and crafting new armor, smelting ores and preparing for a new quest. This time, I'm going to prepare to kill the Varden and the Ender Dragon. It's going to be difficult, but by the 100th day, I'll be ready to go to the edge, but I'll be looking for the portal a little earlier. Remember what I said about the bookshelves? Well, in the Fortress of the Edge, there is a library in which you can find up to 3 chests with different enchanting books, paper, and other resources. As well as this library is full of bookshelves and other useful things, so as soon as I make all the armor, harvest, and smelt all the ores, I will go in search of the fortress, as well as try to get diamonds, because I spent all my diamonds, and now I lack them. I finally created a sieve that will process wheat seeds into bone meal, and thus I will grow trees and other seeds quickly. So this thing is very simple but very useful for me now. Considering my lack of wood and the fact that it doesn't grow by itself very fast, I'm going to speed up its growth. With bone meal, the pig zombies have started to come to my world. I decided to start a war with them. I probably shouldn't have done that because there will be a lot of them in my world, but I don't plan to close the portal to hell. So I have to be friends with them somehow, otherwise I might just die. I made some golden carrots and went in search of diamonds. I didn't spend too much time in the cave, so I didn't get many diamonds, but I don't need many. I just need to fix my armor and make myself new boot and helmet and improve it with the upgrades I found in hell. I finally became a complete Nesserite, and now the mobs of my normal world are not scary for me, except for Varden, of course. I'm making an anvil to repair my armor. By the way, I didn't even notice that I have 43 levels. So as soon as I can make an enchanting table, I can also enchant my armor, and then I'll be 100 protected. From almost all mobs, falls, and fire, I feel incredibly cool. Look how cool I look. I didn't think I'd live to be 65 days old and become so strong. Now it's time to improve my pickaxe, and I have one more improvement template left. I'll be able to improve my axe in the future, but now I want to find a zombie inhabitant and heal him. First, I'll go get more resources, by the way. I need a lot of iron. I want to create a few golems that would help me kill Varden, and also to kill Varden need about 2 glasses of iron that would constantly repair the golem. I found a resident and slowly but surely brought him home. For some reason, he refused to climb the stairs, and I had to build it with wood. After I was able to bring him home, I realized that I do not have all the ingredients to create a potion of weakness, and I had to go look for a spider eye. Well, I was looking for it a few days past, and unfortunately the zombie resident disappeared. So I have to go look for a new one. It's a shame it took me so long to bring this one home. Now I have to start all over again, but I've set myself this goal anyway, and I have to fulfill it. So I'm going to go look for it right now, and hopefully I'll be able to do it very quickly. By the way, while I was walking through the caves, I found a bottle of honey. It will be very useful for me to brew a potion. So this trip 100s can be called very successful. I finally brewed the potion I need. I'll quickly find a new zombie inhabitant, and we can cure him. While I'm looking for an inhabitant, I'm thinking it would be nice to grow some wood. All my supplies are running low, so I'll make a lot of bone meal and grow some trees. I want to build a special platform where I'll have a tree farm. I have 1 block of grass, and I can use it to make a nice clearing, thanks to the Enderman. Now I will quickly heal the resident and try to pump it up a bit. I have extracted quite a lot of emeralds and other resources, so I can make my resident very cool. In addition, the residents that you save from the zombies will make a very big discount on all their resources, to be honest. I thought that the zombie resident will heal faster, but it took quite a long time. I had time to go out to eat while I was waiting for it to be reborn. But I did it, and now my castle will have not only an axolotl and fish, but also 1 resident. I will not make more residents. It takes a lot of time. And I'm not sure I'll have time to do everything I need in the next few days if I go looking for more residents. My resident buys threads and sells fish. I have a lot of threads as well as emeralds, so I have something to trade with him. I immediately sold him all my threads that I could collect from chests, and bought from him all the fish. I decided to feed the fish to my axolotl in general. The task was just to give him friends, but he began to eat them, so friendship they did not work out. But this is his personal business. I do not care about them. The main thing that I pumped my resident, I made a cage for the resident that he would not run away from my house, and my resident got a new level. Now he sells fishing rod with enchantments, buys more kinds of fish, and can even cook it for a fee. Not bad. Maybe I can use it in the future. We'll see. If I don't have enough food, I'll fish and trade with my resident. If I have enough, my resident will just live with me. Next, I decided to go plant trees and decorate my territory. I realized that ordinary trees are not enough for me, and I need to implement my plan with a huge platform and tree farm. I started to build a platform. It will consist of 2 half islands connected by a narrow path. First, I will just build a platform. Then I will plant the earth and a block of grass. Wait until it grows grass and make a fence that would make everything look nice and aesthetic. Also need to light everything that would not spawn monsters, and a little to finish the path to my house. That would be comfortable to walk. After that, I took a bunch of tree seedlings and bone meal and began to grow a whole bunch of trees. 1 more task completed, and now I will have an endless source of wood. I am very happy that my life is getting better and living is becoming much more comfortable. Perhaps by the 100th day I will live like in heaven or hell. We'll see. By the way, just look how much we managed to do in 68 days. We managed to build a huge kingdom, make a cool armor, heal a resident, and get a pet. We managed to create a tree farm and a wheat farm, get a whole bunch of resources, and even go to hell and explore it from head to toe. I think this is a good result, and survival is very interesting. I've never had this experience before, and at first I was very scared and it didn't work out. I reshot it several times in finally 68 days, and I'm still alive. I'm very happy. I hope you are watching me and getting the same emotions as me while surviving in this wonderful world. I love these caves. Well, now I have to finish my farms and get ready for a new journey. Adventure is waiting for us friends. Even such an island of grass with trees seems to me a paradise in a world of caves where it is constantly very dark, wet, and cold, and monsters 24 hours a day hunting you. It's a pity that I cannot have pigs or cows, but it's not bad. I have a resident, I have an axolotl, and I have an axolotl, and I have a cool roller. Coaster, what else do you need for happiness? After I finished the island, I planted all the remaining tree seedlings and finished my tree farm to the end. In the future, maybe I will do some more farms, but for now I'm going back home to harvest wheat and carrots and make more food. And after that, I plan to go on a trip to find the fortress of the land. I got on the cart and went on my way. Now I need to find Enderman and get enough pearls to find the portal to the end. Spoiler alert. It will be very difficult because there is no open sky above my head, and in order to throw the eye of the edge, I will have to find sufficiently open areas of the cave. Otherwise, they will just fly into the blocks of stone and disappear. I went in search and fought with a very large number of monsters before I got as many pearls as I needed. Before going in search, I decided to prepare. Because the path is really very long, I will need to take a lot of food with me so that I do not die of hunger on the way. So I went to cut a lot of wood, and my tree farm helped me a lot in this. I also decided to harvest on my farm and make some more food, after which I am completely ready to go in search of the Fortress of the End. It will be a very long and difficult journey. I got into the trolley and went on the road by rail. I spent a lot of time looking for a fortress. This task turned out to be more difficult than I thought, due to the fact that most often the cave is very narrow and low. There was simply nowhere to throw the eye of the edge in 90 of cases. So I had to look for open spaces and canyons where I could throw them. I dug a lot of caves, met a whole bunch of monsters, and along the way looked for the Fortress of the End. I was even able to find a zombie spawner, but I decided to break it because I already have a whole bunch of spawners, and besides they are useless, I would not refuse a skeleton spawner, but it will be very difficult to find. They are much less common than zombies. I continued to dig a cave and even managed to find an amethyst biome. I decided to get some of them. They look very nice, and maybe I will decorate my house with them if I find the time to do so. Finally, after a whole bunch of days, I was able to find a lead and immediately started digging the blocks underneath me. I went down to the very bottom. And yes, I finally found this fortress. By the way, I fell right to the portal. Incredible luck, because most often you have to look for a portal for a very long time. Through the corridors of this fortress, I immediately killed the silverfish and broke their spawner. I decided to activate the portal, although I don't need it now, but I just really like the way it looks. So after looking at it a little, I still began to perform the main task at the moment. I searched a few chests on the way to the library. They had very good resources. I found a blacksmith template to engrave on my infernal armor. I collected all the bookshelves and searched the chests that were there. I found a lot of useful materials, such as enchanted books, sheets of paper, and blacksmith templates, after which I wrote down the coordinates of the fortress and immediately returned home in order to create an enchantment table and enchant my things. I also planted pumpkins because soon they will be useful to me to kill the Varden with iron golems. As soon as I created the enchantment table, I started collecting wood to make a lot of bookshelves and get the maximum level of enchantment. I made as many as 42 bookshelves and furnished my enchantment table with them. I didn't really like the enchantment effects that fell on my armor, so I enchanted my crossbow and decided to try to enchant some things with the books I found in the fortress. I made myself a crossbow for fast fire and triple shot. It will come in handy in the battle against the dragon. I tested how my crossbow shoots, and I really liked it. I decided to go back home and make a lot of iron blocks to create my iron golems, but I still had to wait for my pumpkins to grow. Otherwise, I just won't be able to create a golem. While the pumpkins are growing, I went to the bottom of the cave to kill the monsters with my new crossbow, and it really impressed me. There was only one problem. I had very few arrows in stock, and I definitely wouldn't have enough of them to fully shoot a crossbow. So I need to find a skeleton spawner and create a farm of arrows and bones, which is what I will do in the next days. And before that, I decided to add an emerald engraving to my new armor. This will make it look even more beautiful and more threatening. After that, I will go to the mine and look for a skeleton spawner, along the way extracting resources that I constantly run out of. For now, I've decided to light up the area near my house with torches so that there are a lot fewer monsters spawning here. I want to create a real paradise in this cave, and monsters have no place in my paradise. I will gradually illuminate everything here and turn these caves into real paradise. Quarters, but for now, I will return home and melt all my iron, of which I have accumulated a great deal in all the days that I have wandered through the caves in search of the fortress of the land. And while I have time, I will still make an engraving on my armor. I decided that it was time to enchant my armor because I had a lot of levels again. I wanted to enchant my pants or breastplate, but there were bad enchantments again, and they didn't suit me. So I decided to enchant my boots. I didn't get the best enchantment, but I'm fine with it, at least for now. I also enchanted my pants, and still I got a good enchantment. I got 3 protection and 3 durability, and it's pretty cool. I didn't have enough experience for the chest piece and helmet on this. I'll enchant them a little later. I went to my house and decided to harvest to replenish the food supply. This time a lot of carrots, watermelons, and wheat grew. I am satisfied with the harvest. I planted the seeds in place in empty beds and converted some of the excess into bone meal. I will be able to create a golden carrot. The only thing that upset me is that the pumpkins never grew. And I understood what the problem was, most likely in the direction in which they grow. They cannot grow because of the beds, so I trampled them and ran to make a golden carrot. I've created a lot of golden carrots, and the food issue will be closed for a very long time. Now I've decided to copy the blacksmith templates for improvement and started preparing for the adventure. This time, I'm going to go in search of a skeleton spawner and create a bone and arrow farm. After that, I plan to kill a couple of Vardens and complete another of my tasks. The hardest part in my video begins, after all. One mistake can lead to my death, so in order to protect myself, I will take an iron golem with me. I think with it, I can easily kill Varden and complete this task. I've been looking for a skeleton spawner for a very long time. I came across a lot of spider and zombie spawners, but not skeletons. I was already desperate, and when I found a zombie spawner again, I thought, why do I need all this? But I still remembered that the dragon won't kill itself, and I need to get a couple of stacks of arrows somewhere, maybe more. And after I killed all the zombies and took all the materials and items I needed from their dungeon, I went in search of the skeleton dungeon, and after a whole lot of time, I managed to do it. At first, I decided to try to kill skeletons with my own hands. I didn't really want to waste time on creating a farm because I already spent a lot of time looking for a spawner. But even in my cool armor, the skeletons gave a good fight, and I had to write down the coordinates of the spawner and return home to take resources to the farm. I went back and made a farm that worked just fine. Skeletons fell down. I killed them and got a lot of experience arrows and bones, as well as a whole bunch of bows and broken armor with different enchantments. I spent just one day to knock a lot of resources out of them that would last me until the end of my survival. So the time spent on the farm paid off. If I just ran around the caves and looked for skeletons, I would spend even more time. As soon as I got everything I needed and even more, I decided to go home. But I hung around the rocking chair for a while and couldn't stop killing skeletons. I think it's very addictive. I've gained a lot of experience, and now I can enchant absolutely all my things. Look how many resources I knocked out of the skeletons. It's really a lot. I think now I'm going to hate skeletons even more. For what I've been doing with them all day anyway, it's time to go home. I have the coordinates of the spawner written down, and if I need to, I'll come back here again. But I think it's unlikely. I returned home, and finally the pumpkin grew. I collected it and decided it was time to kill Varden. Before going to the Varden, I still decided to enchant all my armor, but I had no luck with enchantments, and I tried to enchant books, hoping that the enchantments would change, but I was not very lucky this time. I enchanted my helmet quite well, but the sword and breastplate did not enchant very well. But in any case, it will give some protection, and I will become stronger. I don't have time to choose a bunch of enchantments and spend a lot of experience on it. I'll get by with such enchantments. I immediately went to look for the Varden biome and found it pretty quickly. For some reason, everything around was filled with the Varden biome, so I immediately started to summon it, but some Varden spawners didn't work due to the fact that it couldn't detect my sound, no matter how much I made. Noise, it didn't spawn, and I had to look for a new spawner. I was very scared, especially at the moment when I made a golem and everything went dark in my eyes. Varden appeared very unexpectedly, and the golem immediately attacked him. Varden managed to hit me once before dying, and at that moment I almost died of fear. My life is hanging by a thread, and if it wasn't for the golem, I'd die in such a stupid fight with Varden. I'll have to be more careful next time. It's time to go back home and go to the final 10 days that I will spend in the dragon world. I want to find the litters and kill the ender dragon, collect shulkers, and many more things we have to do. But now the final preparations, I also want to take a golem with me. I think he can help me while I break the dragon crystals. I take more arrows and load my crossbow. Well, friends, wish me good luck in the final battle. Let's go. As I gather all the things I need, my hands start to sweat and my eyes are watering. Is our survival coming to an end? I can't even believe it. We have done so much with you in these 90 days. We have come such a long way. So many adventures and trials. Lord, this world of only caves has become my own. Even somehow sadly saying goodbye to it and going on the last journey to the world of the dragon. Well, for this, we all started, by the way. Friends, if you want, I will take 200 days of survival in this world. If you like and write a comment, then I will return to this world and live another 100 days. I am waiting for your feedback. Well, the battle has begun. There is no turning back. I need to destroy all the dragon crystals before engaging in battle with him. I think my crossbow will make it much easier for me, because I have 3 arrows flying at once instead of 1. In fact, I will have to line up to the crystals since some of them are covered with an iron grate, and unfortunately, it will not work to break them with a crossbow. I hope the dragon doesn't knock me back and I don't die from the fall. It would be terrible, and it would be the most terrible fail of all. While I was making an iron golem, the dragon shot me with its kizut, or whatever it was. It almost killed me. I somehow managed to run away and thus avoid death. Lucky that I brought the golden apple with me. I quickly recovered and returned to the battle. I need to break all the crystals as soon as possible, otherwise I won't last long. And by the way, creating an iron golem was more of a mistake than a right decision. It became a hindrance, because it attacked all the Endermen who attacked me after the golem's death. So for the future, don't take the iron golem with you to the final battle. It will ruin everything for you. In the meantime, the number of dragon crystals is decreasing, which means that soon I will start killing the dragon itself. I've run out of blocks and I don't have time to get them. So I decided to break all the crystals that I can with a crossbow, and the rest will have to be broken with the help of ender pearls. I have been shooting a lot and for a long time at giant towers. It was very difficult to hit the crystals that I can't see because of their huge height. But still, little by little, I succeeded. The dragon kept trying to stop me, but in the end, it didn't work. I broke the last crystals and began to kill the dragon. To be honest, breaking the crystals was more difficult than killing the dragon itself. Even the enders gave me more problems than the dragon itself, although a couple of times I really almost died, but not because the dragon is very strong. Rather, I'm very stupid because I was caught several times in a row in his similar tricks with the acid cloud. Let's forget about it and pretend that all this did not happen. I almost killed the dragon and there is very little left. The crossbow is really very strong against it. Almost every shot I fired was directly on the target due to the fact that 3 arrows flew out at once. The dragon could not dodge them and just caught them all with his body. The battle turned. Out to be exciting, after I kill the dragon, I will immediately go to look for the City of the End. I really dream of flying over my cave on wings, or rather, Elytra, on the wings of Elytra. It will be more accurate. In general, I hope you understand what I mean. Finally, I finished off the dragon, and now I can take its egg. Unfortunately, in Minecraft, it is not yet possible to grow your dragon without special mods. So the egg just goes to my collection, and we move on. After collecting all the experience that fell from the dragon, I accumulated as many as 70 levels of experience, and that's a lot. If I survive another 100 days in this world, I can create myself a cool new armor and enchant it very well. I took the dragon egg and went to look for the portal. And now I need to get to another dimension of the world of the end. For this, I need Enderman's pearls. The first part sounds very easy, but I also need to find a city in this world. Throwing a couple of pearls, I was able to teleport, and now I need to get some blocks and start trying to get to these islands. While I was building, I was only thinking about one thing. Even if no Enderman decided to attack me from behind and throw me into the abyss, it would be the most disappointing defeat in my life. Just imagine. So much to go through and die at the very end from some stupid monster. I packed some food for the occasion and ran to the city. The battle with the shulkers was very difficult, and they constantly threw me up and made me fly. If I didn't have time to make some decision, I would fly into the sky, fall, and crash. Now I need to fight off all the shulkers and search the chests, but the ilitters are not in this building. They are in the so-called ship. So I go there to look for ilitters and kill the shulkers as soon as I kill all the shulkers in this building. I spent a really lot of time and effort to cope with them. I had to shoot at them at the same time, monitor the level of satiety, and put blocks over me so as not to fly into the sky. How I wanted to return home from this terrible place as soon as possible. I just realized that I could not go into this house and not kill all the shulkers. I could have just gone straight to the ship, picked up the alacrities, and flown home. But for some reason, as usual, I chose the most difficult path and decided to kill absolutely everyone here, as they say. A miser pays twice. So it happened to me. Stupid to fight twice. But what to do? All beaten and in almost broken armor. I still fought them off and took my 5 iron ingots rewards. It's just wonderful. They would put at least a stack of diamonds to satisfy the person who decided to do this, but apparently I will have enough iron. So I got to the ship, and finally I got a decent reward for my suffering. There were several potions here, and the most important thing was the elytra. There were shulkers here too, and I decided not to mess with them for a long time. After several failed attempts to kill them, I just went home on. My new elytras finally calm and rest. How tired I was, even though I wasn't in hell. It was a hell of a 10 days of survival. I was very tired. Well, friends, finally I am back in my world. I have completed all the main tasks I set for 100 days. There are a few little things left to do and a couple of things to consider my survival over. The first one is, of course, the shulkers. I will make 3 blue shulkers, and as promised, I will put all sorts of garbage in there. This will be the punishment of the shulkers for getting me so much while I was trying to get elytra. The next thing I want to do is a shield with an ender banner. By the way, my armor is almost completely broken, but I'm not going to repair it today. I'm too tired to go to hell and look for more netherite. Look at what a handsome guy in front of you, okay? Stop admiring yourself. You need to put the garbage in a shulker, and we'll end here. Everything else in the next 100 days. If, of course, you want to see it again. Well, dear friends, thank you very much for spending these 100 days of survival in hardcore Minecraft in the world of caves only with me. I was very pleased to shoot this video for you. Although it took me more than 2 weeks, in 100 days we built a wonderful kingdom, killed a dragon and a varden, made several farms, and most importantly, we survived. Do you remember what our house was like, or rather, this place on the first day? If not, then skip to the beginning and come back here to feel all the difference. Thank you for being with me until the very end of this video. Like and subscribe to the channel. Invite friends to my channel. And we will continue our difficult path in survival in hardcore Minecraft. All good luck. And see you again. Everyone is friends for now.